Christmas is supposed to be loud. It's supposed to be clinking glasses, laughter echoing down hallways, wrapping paper tearing under impatient hands. It's supposed to smell like pine needles, warm food, and home. But on a cold November night in Vermilion, Ohio, just weeks before Christmas, silence swallowed a house that would never feel warm again. At 11:48 p.m., a woman called 911. Her voice trembled, but her words were precise. Please help this channel grow, like the video, try the new hype feature, leave a comment and subscribe for more stories. This helps us a lot. Thank you. My husband has been shot. By the time police arrived, Julene Simko was dead. And the woman standing in the doorway, Julene Simko, would soon become the center of one of the most disturbing domestic murder cases Ohio had ever seen. This was not a crime of passion. This was a crime wrapped in secrets, contracts and lies that stretched far beyond the holidays. Julene Simko was not the kind of man people expected to die violently. He was known as quiet, methodical, and reserved. A hardworking professional. A man who kept his head down and his private life private. Julene Simko, his wife, was different. She was described as outspoken, intense, and emotionally complex. Those close to her would later say she carried deep emotional scars from childhood, scars that shaped the woman she became. To neighbors, they looked like a normal couple, a home, a routine, a marriage. But behind closed doors, the Simko household operated under rules no one else knew about. What the public didn't know, what even their families didn't fully understand, was that their marriage was governed by a written contract. A contract that outlined control, obedience, punishment, and power. A document that would later become one of the most shocking pieces of evidence in the entire case. As Christmas approached, tensions inside the home were growing. The marriage was unstable, arguments had become frequent, resentment simmered quietly. And then, one night, everything stopped. The Simko home was calm that evening. No signs of forced entry. No neighbors reporting arguments. No frantic chaos spilling into the street. Inside, Jeremy was shot at close range. The bullet tore through him with deadly precision. When police entered the house, they noticed something immediately unsettling. The scene didn't feel panicked. It felt staged. Julene told officers that an intruder had entered the home, that she had heard a noise, that moments later, her husband was shot. But investigators found no broken locks. No forced doors. No evidence of a struggle. Jeremy had been killed inside his own home, and the only other person there was his wife. As Christmas decorations remained boxed and unused, detectives began to pull apart a story that didn't quite fit. At first, investigators treated Julene as a grieving spouse. But details began to shift. Her timeline didn't align, her emotional responses seemed inconsistent, her explanations changed subtly, but noticeably. Then came the discovery that changed everything. Hidden within the home were graphic photographs and videos. Images that revealed a disturbing dynamic between husband and wife. And then, the contract. 14 pages. Signed by both Jeremy and Julene. A document outlining a master-slave relationship, detailing obedience, discipline, and control. The prosecution would later argue that this contract wasn't just shocking, it was motive. Investigators now questioned whether the relationship was consensual role-play, or psychological coercion that spiraled into resentment and rage. Julene told police she had been abused. She claimed Jeremy controlled her. That she was trapped. That the contract was evidence of years of manipulation. But forensic evidence told another story. Gunshot residue. Ballistics. Phone records. Surveillance footage. Piece by piece, the intruder theory collapsed. There was no stranger. No shadowy figure in the night. Only a marriage that had quietly decayed into something dangerous. Family members were called to testify. Some described Julene as fragile. Others described her as calculating. Jeremy's family painted him as gentle, private, not violent. The courtroom became a battleground of narratives. Victim or manipulator? Abuse survivor or orchestrator? And hovering over it all was one question: who was telling the truth? After years of investigation and legal delays, Julene Simko was charged with aggravated murder. The trial was emotionally brutal. Jurors were shown the contract, the images, the forensic evidence. The defense argued trauma. The prosecution argued intent. In the end, the jury decided. Julene Simko was found guilty. She was sentenced to life in prison, with the possibility of parole after decades. Appeals would follow. Arguments of ineffective counsel. Claims of misinterpreted evidence. But the conviction stood. Jeremy Simko was buried before Christmas. His family would forever associate the holiday with loss. The house was eventually sold. But the story never left Vermilion. Others grow quietly. They hide behind routine. Behind normalcy. Behind holiday lights that distract us from what's really happening inside a home. The Julene Simko case forces us to confront uncomfortable truths. About power. About consent. About how private lives can mask dangerous dynamics. And about how lies, when left unchallenged, don't disappear. They wait. Sometimes until Christmas is just another night and silence becomes deadly. Because the most dangerous secrets are not the ones shouted in anger. They are the ones signed, agreed upon, and hidden until it's too late.